Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Salesforce Administrators Mock Interview Series. Whether you're preparing for an interview or looking to deepen your understanding of Salesforce administration, you're in the right place. In this series of videos, we'll cover some common and crucial questions that you might encounter in a Salesforce administrator interview. Let's get started. What is a profile and how does it control access in Salesforce?
A profile in Salesforce is a collection of settings and permissions that determine what a user can access and do within the Salesforce organization. Essentially, it defines the functionality and data visibility that each user has. Profiles control access in Salesforce through a combination of settings such as object permissions, field-level security, page layouts, and record types. Object permissions specify which objects such as accounts, contacts, opportunities, etc. a user can view, create, edit, and delete. Field-level security determines which fields within those objects a user can see and edit. Page layouts dictate the arrangement of fields and related lists on record detail pages. Record types allow for different sets of page layouts and pick list values based on certain criteria. By assigning users to specific profiles, administrators can finely tune the level of access and functionality available to each individual or group of users. For example, a sales representative might have access to create and edit opportunities but not modify sensitive financial data, while a manager might have broader access to view and analyze all sales records. Profiles are fundamental to maintaining security and controlling access to data within a Salesforce organization.
What is a role in Salesforce and how does it differ from a profile?
A role in Salesforce is a hierarchical level within the organization that helps to define access to records, particularly in the context of sharing rules and record access via role hierarchy. The role hierarchy in Salesforce is a representation of the reporting structure within the organization, with higher level roles having access to records owned by users in lower level roles. Roles are often associated with managerial or organizational responsibilities. Roles primarily impact record-level access and visibility in Salesforce. Users at higher levels in the role hierarchy typically have broader access to records owned by users beneath them in the hierarchy. This hierarchical access is particularly important for sales teams, where managers need visibility into the activities and records of their subordinates. On the other hand, a profile in Salesforce is a collection of settings and permissions that determine what a user can access and do within the Salesforce organization. Profiles control access to objects, fields, and functionality within Salesforce, such as the ability to create, edit, delete, or view records. They also influence the user interface and available features. While both roles and profiles control access in Salesforce, they operate at different levels of granularity and serve different purposes. Roles control record-level access and visibility within the organization's hierarchy. Profiles control object-level and field-level access, as well as general system permissions and settings.
What is the difference between Salesforce Classic and Salesforce Lightning Experience?
Salesforce Classic and Salesforce Lightning Experience are two user interfaces provided by Salesforce for accessing and interacting with the Salesforce platform. While they serve the same purpose of helping users manage their data and workflows, there are significant differences between the two. Salesforce Classic has a more traditional user interface with a navigation bar at the top and a sidebar for accessing different features and records. It relies heavily on page refreshes and has a less visually appealing design. Whereas Salesforce Lightning Experience, on the other hand, offers a modern, intuitive user interface with a dynamic homepage, customizable dashboards, and more interactive components. It leverages JavaScript frameworks to provide a smoother and more responsive user experience, with fewer page refreshes. Salesforce Classic provides access to all core Salesforce functionality, including standard objects, custom objects, workflows, reports, and dashboards. However, some newer features and enhancements may not be available in Classic. Salesforce Lightning Experience introduces several new features and enhancements that are not available in Classic, such as Lightning App Builder for customizing pages, Lightning Components for building custom UI elements, and the Lightning App Launcher for easily accessing apps and utilities. Salesforce Classic offers a separate mobile app, Salesforce Classic Mobile, for accessing Salesforce on mobile devices. While it provides basic functionality, the user experience may be less optimized for mobile use. Salesforce Lightning Experience provides a more seamless and responsive mobile experience through the Salesforce Mobile, which is built on the same Lightning framework as the desktop experience. This allows users to access the same features and customizations across desktop and mobile devices. Salesforce Classic allows for customization and development using Visualforce pages and Apex code. While powerful, Visualforce pages may require more effort to create and maintain, and they may not provide the same level of interactivity as Lightning components. Salesforce Lightning Experience encourages the use of Lightning components, which are reusable UI elements that can be easily assembled to create custom pages and apps. Lightning components offer greater flexibility, scalability, and performance compared to Visualforce pages.
What is the difference between a sandbox and a production environment in Salesforce?
A sandbox in Salesforce is a copy of the production environment that is used for development, testing, and training purposes. It provides a safe and isolated space where administrators and developers can make changes to configurations, develop and test new features, and train users without impacting the live production environment. There are quite a few differences between a sandbox and a production environment. Firstly, the production environment is the live instance of Salesforce that is used for day-to-day operations, such as managing customer data, running business processes, and generating revenue. Changes made in the production environment directly impact users and data, so they need to be carefully planned and tested. Sandboxes are used for development, testing, and training activities. They allow administrators and developers to experiment with changes, configurations, and customizations without risking disruption to live data or processes. The production environment contains real, live data that is used for conducting business operations. This data is typically sensitive and critical to the organization's operations, so changes should be carefully controlled and tested. Sandboxes are populated with copies of data from the production environment, known as sandbox data. This allows users to work with realistic data without affecting the integrity of the production data. However, sandbox data may not always be up to date with the latest changes from the production environment. Access to the production environment is typically restricted to authorized users who need to perform business operations. Permissions and access controls are configured to ensure the security and integrity of the data. Sandboxes are typically less restricted in terms of access, allowing developers, administrators, and testers to have more freedom to experiment and make changes. However, it's still important to implement appropriate security measures to protect sensitive data and configurations. Changes to configurations, customizations, and code in the production environment should be carefully planned, tested, and deployed to minimize disruption and ensure stability. Sandboxes provide a safe environment for making and testing changes to configurations, customizations, and code before deploying them to the production environment. This helps to reduce the risk of errors and unexpected behavior in the live environment.
How do you import data in Salesforce?
Importing data into Salesforce can be done using several methods, depending on the volume of data and the source of the data. Salesforce provides a built-in data import wizard that allows users to import data from CSV files directly into standard or custom objects. This wizard guides users through the process of mapping fields from the CSV file to fields in Salesforce and allows for basic data transformations. The data import wizard is suitable for smaller datasets. Salesforce Data Loader is a powerful tool that allows users to import, export, update, and delete large volumes of data in Salesforce. It can be downloaded and installed as a standalone application or used via the command line interface. Data Loader supports various file formats including CSV, XML, and Excel, and provides more advanced features such as bulk API support, scheduling, and automation. Salesforce supports external data sources integration through tools like Salesforce Connect or external objects. This allows Salesforce to access and view data from external systems in real time without physically importing it into Salesforce. External objects provide a way to interact with data stored outside of Salesforce as if it were native Salesforce data. Salesforce APIs, such as SOAP API, Bulk API, or REST API, can be used to programmatically import data into Salesforce from external systems or applications. This method is suitable for automating data imports, integrating with third-party systems, or handling large volumes of data. There are third-party apps available on the Salesforce App Exchange that specialize in data import and integration. These apps provide additional features and customization options for importing data into Salesforce. While importing data into Salesforce, it's important to follow some best practices to ensure data integrity and accuracy, such as cleanse and prepare the data before importing to avoid errors and inconsistencies. Map fields accurately between the source data and Salesforce objects. Validate the data against Salesforce object requirements, such as field types, pick list values, and required fields.